Coach Prime faces new recruiting threat as Bryce Underwood influences #1 OT odds after Sooners news. Sharon Moore might have been new to Ann Arbor, but he was not afraid to go to great lengths to land the #1 QB recruit, Bryce Underwood. For that, the Wolverines had dug deep into their pockets, making a hefty $12 million nil offer. Now, as Underwood steps into 2025, he is carrying the burden of that fat amount on his shoulders. And that so-called burden, aka responsibility, has even made him a recruiting hurdle to Deion Sanders himself. With all of that comes immense expectations. The Wolverines brought in veteran Mikey Keene from Fresno State to serve as a bridge quarterback. But ultimately, the onus is going to fall on Underwood to prove he's worth the hype and money. ESPN's Jake Trotter said. In this offseason, the quarterback was spotted flexing his pearly white-colored Lamborghini Urus worth $278,000. This made the Michigan fans fear that Underwood may undergo the same fate as Shadur with all this nil flex. But no, while the quarterback preps himself for a powerful 2025 season, he now moves with a me-to-we mindset. And what better way to do that than being the catalyst in the recruiting drive? But this initiative leaves Coach Prime struggling to get a good night's sleep. Right now, five-star prospect Felix Ojo has been stirring the pot. The 6'7", 275-pounder from Lake Ridge High School already holds a buffet of offers, including Colorado, Michigan, Texas, and Ole Miss, among others. Oklahoma was in the race for Ojo too, but Brent Venable's team won't host him after his June 9th announcement made it clear. Not needed. Nearing my decision a lot sooner than later. That's when Underwood jumped into the race. Putting the burden off Moore's shoulders, the quarterback has now taken on a mission to woo Ojo. As Hayes Fawcett reported on June 12th, Michigan QB and 2025 #1 recruit Bryce Underwood is recruiting five-star OT Felix Ojo to Michigan Eyes part alternation mark. At least Ojo and Underwood's social media activities hint at it. The IG post consists of a screenshot where the #1 offensive tackle dropped a cryptic message tagging Underwood at 19 Bryce. __, is this the move? The plot thickened with Underwood dropping a comment under Ojo's post. YK what to do. The hot recruit had taken his official visit to Ann Arbor in May, and that's where the duo had struck a bond. As Steve Wiltfong reported, he spent time with Bryce Underwood, Michigan's prized true freshman, the #1 player in the country per on 3 in the 2025 cycle. Bryce Underwood told him that the reasons he came to Michigan, outside of nil obviously, were development and culture. And then the offense, it's still very similar to the one they ran under Jim Harbaugh. A pro-style scheme that gets everybody ready to rip and roar for Sundays. Already, the Wolverines have won Ojo's heart. Their biggest selling point is the fact that Moore is an offensive-minded coach himself, and he's helped send a lot of offensive linemen from Michigan to the NFL. Also, the Wolverines are generous with nil offers, as we've seen with Underwood. Does that mean Deion is already getting nightmares that Ojo is slipping from his hands? Felix Ojo boarding Deion Sanders' wagon will be a risky move. Over the past few months, Ojo's recruiting track has hit multiple turns. On April 5th, On3 reported, five-star OT Felix Ojo continues to feel like a top priority for Texas. He tells at @Wiltfong_sign of the Hornsta. The player went to Texas on April 3rd, after which he was wooed by the Longhorns. But it did not take Ojo long to turn his back on Austin. On April 12th, he got wooed by the family vibes in Columbus. What excites me about the Buckeyes is the opportunity to play early and the family atmosphere of the program. I've seen the campus facilities and pretty much everything Columbus has to offer. But even after that, he took a trip to Boulder in May. Deion's excitement was hitting the ceiling to get the opportunity to host Ojo. After all, the five-star holds Colorado in high regard. I feel like, Coach, Deion is changing the game over there at Colorado. And no wonder, the visit went well. After the trip, Ojo fueled the hype as he tweeted a snap posing with Coach Prime. The caption read, #legendary #GoBuffs at Deion Sanders. Even if things look positive for Felix Ojo and the Colorado Buffaloes, what worries Deion Sanders about landing a top recruit like him? The past really bothers the Buffs head coach. Colorado went all out for five-star Julian Lewis, but right after he landed in Boulder, he was downgraded to a 4-star. The same happened with OL Chauncey Gooden and DB Alex Graham. who were demoted from 4-star to 3-star by on 3 after committing. So, Ojo likely won't want to gamble his 5-star status by jumping into Boulder. Fans send prayers to Deion Sanders amid difficult issues as Cowboys legend Michael Irvin pays tribute. Genuine friendships are often tested in tough times. Years ago, Michael Irvin was arrested for a Class C misdemeanor after accidentally holding onto a friend's pipe following Thanksgiving. The first person to call him was Deion Sanders, and that call meant everything. It was the greatest day of my life when he called me. I couldn't stop crying that day. I just said, "Man, thanks for calling." Irvin shared on Tubi TV's We Got Time Today. That moment tightened their bond. The 3-time Super Bowl champ needed someone in his corner, and Sanders showed up. Now, 2 decades later, that love hasn't faded. This time, it was Irvin stepping in, showing up to support a struggling Colorado coach and prove that real friendship never quits. New York Giants training camp preview DL Chauncey Golston. We all know that Deion Sanders is not physically healthy enough to perform his professional duties, and this is problematic for his friends and fans. Hence, his closest friend and former Cowboys teammate, Michael Irvin, was not far behind, showing his support for the ex-teammate. He posted a video on Instagram featuring a magnificent swimming pool with classic green surroundings. To make the environment positive for his friend, he even took him along. Irvin showed the entire estate to his fans, cracking jokes that he would bathe in the pool and then play tennis. But it was his way of cheering up his dear friend Deion Sanders. Known for speaking his emotions out, he tried to make everyone laugh by showing everyone that he was having a good time. Even Coach Prime laughed in the background as Irvin went on and on and on. But his caption revealed the true feelings. "My bishop always said when your loved ones are dealing with any difficult issues, you must find ways to make them laugh and change their frequency. I love you to life and forever, my brother at Deion Sanders." Wow. It's a very sweet gesture that will definitely give positive energy to Coach Prime. However, as we mentioned above, the love and support between the two are not new. When Deion Sanders became the Jackson State HC, Irvin went to NFL Game Day and other shows, promoting his friend. Even in 2007, when the former receiver was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the first person to hug him after his emotional speech was Sanders Sr. Their friendship is intertwined with a deep desire to excel on and off the field. Amid this, the coach also surprised everyone by revealing positive news. Although he is spending time away in Texas and also stayed away from the Colorado Buffalo's annual summer football camps, he tweeted, "Everything is okay." That's huge. It means we will hear about his recovery soon from his mystery illness. Nevertheless, when the fans saw this video, they also couldn't stop themselves from getting emotional. In fact, they filled his IG post with messages of warmth and care. Over the course of our lives, we meet friends who become brothers. So, when the fans saw such deep love, they also reminisced about their lives. One such fan mentioned, "Man, 88, I love you for being a real brother to Coach. I have the same relationship with 3 of my No.1 blood brothers." Face with tears of joy, smiling face with sunglasses. Another fan also praised Michael Irvin for being a good friend to Deion Sanders. Even while enjoying his time away, he is still thinking and wishing well for his former teammate. "You're a good friend." Prayers lifted for Coach Prime, wrote the fan. No doubt, such friendships are hard to find in today's fast-paced world where people rarely get free time. So, when the WR took out time for his friend, one person couldn't stop himself from commenting, "Beautiful. Get well, red heart adhesive bandage soon." Good friends are keys to your heart. Many others wished well for Coach Prime amid his difficult issues and prayed for him. One fan noted, Fire, this is beautifully insane, red heart, praying for your healing, Coach Prime." The last few months have been turbulent for the NFL legend. His son, Shedeur Sanders, slipped to the 5th round while the elder son, Shiloh Sanders, went undrafted before the Buccaneers signed him. So, those incidents might have impacted him a bit. Nevertheless, he is a legend of his own achievements. Hence, another fan was only concerned about Coach Prime's health, commenting, "Folded hands, medium dark skin tone for Deion. He's an amazing gentleman." #Godlead. Good news is, Deion Sanders is back on the path of recovery, and he will likely be back soon in Colorado, training young boys with the same zeal and energy he is famous for. Till then, fans are praying for him.